So, from the first episode, we have understood that by rubbing something with something, we can develop these charges on those bodies which we are rubbing. Right? Not every body is going to produce that charge, but of course, some bodies will produce charges. We rub our hands, our palms, we can, exchange charges there. Charges, how are these coming? From where are these charges coming? Have you ever thought of that? If you think of it, you will know that you already know that every object consists of atoms. Everything, even air, no air that you cannot see, it is there around you, contains atoms. All atoms have the same number of protons and electrons. Do you understand that? Number of protons and number of electrons are going to be the same. Neutrons are also there. So just for time being, we will ignore what that neutron is. But there is nucleus. Inside the nucleus, protons and neutrons reside, and they are all together, and they occupy a very small space inside the atom, and that is somewhere there. And around the nucleus, electrons revolve, right? Electrons are little far away from the protons, right? At different energy levels, they are revolving around the nucleus. So electrons are there, which are they are free there. Okay, free for us to do something, and we can make that electrons move out of that place, right? We can make it. This, it's a physical action. We can make the electrons move out of that place, right? So that's what is happening here. All atoms contain the same number of protons and electrons. Why am I talking about electrons and protons? Because they are the particles who are responsible for this electric charge to exist, right? Charge itself exists because of this phenomenon, that the existence of charge, the property of a body to have a charge, right? It's a property of a body that if the body has that property, then it is going to either attract another body, or it's going to repel the other body which is having the same property. That is same, it is also having some charges, right? If it is charged. So we say if an atom has equal number of protons and electrons, then it is not charged. Okay, it's not charged. Why it is not charged? Let's think of, that particle proton might be having some value, which is going to be the property of that proton. It's a property of the proton by which it's going to have a positive charge of the amount of 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. By the way, coulomb is the unit for charges, coulomb, right? So 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb is a charge that is there on a proton. On an electron, the electron is a particle, of course, that will have the charge of the amount of 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Both of them are going to have the same amount of charge, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. But electrons are negatively charged, that is, the charge without the magnitude. If you write how much of charge, you say 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. But it is negative in nature. Okay, that nature of charge is going to be. So charge will have two things. One is the amount of charge, that is the magnitude, and then its nature, whether it is negative or positive. That's what the student said. He said something positive, negative, something like that. No, not the exact things he is talking. From where it is coming. If you are asked, you need to talk about this. Like I am talking, you talk. See from where the charge is coming. You can talk at length. If any teacher is asking you, he can give you some time to talk about it, right? Not only teachers are going to ask you, somebody somewhere, any of your friends can also ask you, any of the strangers may also ask you. So you think about this, you talk at length, you can talk about it at length. The charges are due to the particles called electrons and protons. These electrons and protons are the responsible particles for the charges to exist. If charges are existing somewhere, there are going to be protons, there are going to be electrons, and due to them only these charges are coming. Now, how are these protons and electrons there? Yes, it is there, you know that atoms are there, so atoms will have these charges for protons and neutrons. But we have said that every atom has only equal number of electrons and protons. Every charge is equal in magnitude, positive or negative. They are going to be equal in magnitude, isn't it? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Same magnitude, but different, the nature is, one is positive, one is negative. So it's like plus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 minus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Plus 1 minus 1. What does it give you? It gives you 0. So when there is one proton and one electron at some place, there is no charge at that place. Right? If a particle carries both these subatomic particles, one proton and one electron, then that body will not have any charge over it. But if it had only one electron over it, see itself, it is itself containing number of atoms, isn't it? Are you thinking about all this? While listening to me, you must be observing, you might be thinking about all this. What you need to think, I am talking here. You listen to me and just stop, pause and think, right? You can pause the video and just keep thinking about it for some time and then come back, listen. That is the exercise we do. So, this particle itself is going to contain a number of atoms. All those atoms are going to be neutral, right? There is one extra proton or one extra electron which is there on that body, and that is making that body being charged. So the existence of extra electrons or extra protons is going to be the reason for the body to be charged, right? You get it? So from where does this electrons or protons come? Please understand, protons can never come from anywhere. Protons are being protected inside the nucleus, right? It's a concrete room like thing you can imagine. Inside that, these protons are there and neutrons are there. Nobody can take that out of it. It's we are taking, see, humans can do anything. No, they are capable of removing protons also from somewhere. They are capable of that. But right now, let's not talk about it. I will talk about this later at some chapter, which is called atoms and nuclei. Okay, there are chapters by the name atoms and nuclei. In that chapter, if we talk about this, that will be relevant. Right now, so you have to be very, like, focus on a particular point. We are just talking about electric charge. So let us talk about electric charge, from where this charge is coming. In that area only you are revolving your mind, right? You are thinking about that, from where that charge is coming. Extra electron, if somebody is having, that is due to, that is quite possible. Extra proton is not possible, right? Extra electron only is possible. In my next episode, I continue with this thing, that is, extra electron is only possible, but extra proton is not possible. In my next episode, we'll see this. Until then, bye bye.